Back, a Peoria lawmaker has been defending a contribution he received from a company recently caught in the crosshairs of the FBI. And joining me now is Peoria State Senator Dave Koehler. Thanks as always for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, so just to be clear, you're not listed in this investigation.
No,
this is a company that, an asphalt company, Bluff City Materials, that's been listed in the FBI probe against Martin Sandoval, a state senator out of Chicago. But you did receive recently a campaign contribution from them after their offices were raided. So what's your connection to it?
Let me tell you the story. So Mike Vondra owns several companies. He has a company here in Peoria called Southwind Recycled Asphalt Shingles. I support it totally. It's taking asphalt shingles that are coming off of people's houses, and instead of putting them in the landfill, you try to reuse them and use them in road mix, which is the main place that it's used. But they've been a sponsor of my golf outing for several years. I have a golf outing every August, and they were again a sponsor this year. The check came in late. I mean, I had no reason not to cash it, but I have said that if there's any wrongdoing, it's going right to charity. I don't condone any kind of illegal activity or any kind of unethical or immoral behavior. So. If that's found out, then this money all goes to charity here locally.
All right, and you were talking about there the relationship in the past that Vondra has given out, because
they're a business here in Peoria. They're down in Darth Street, very good business.
Because one of the other things that came out was that you and even in some cases along with Sandoval, you supported some legislation that didn't eventually pass.
Right.
That Vondra was backing.
Well, yes. What he was trying to do is. The industry right now is set up where you've got people that do highway construction, and so you've got material suppliers and asphalt suppliers and all that. And he was wanting IDOT and in some cases the EPA to say that this was a responsible recycled material that could be used in that mix. It's hard to break into this. So I mean, I supported it because of the recycling aspect. That did not pass because it had opposition from the road builders, the asphalt makers, and all that. So it's a tough business. It should be fair. If you have people that want to recycle and want to do innovative things, they ought to be allowed a chance to. This whole FBI thing is a whole different thing. I mean, and I have no knowledge of what they're going after. I mean, this is getting huge. It just took down the CEO of Exelon, as how big it's getting. And as I say, if there's anything wrong, any wrongdoing here, I'm not going to mess around with this. It'll go to charity because I don't condone that kind of activity.
All right. Well, I want to switch gears here for you. After that, the governor just put out his proposal, pensions. That's an issue that every municipality, the state, has to deal with here in Illinois. To consolidate roughly what, 649, roughly 650 downstate police and fire pensions. What's your thought on that? Do you think that would help? As I know that there are a lot of police and fire unions pushing back on that.
Well, the fire union, I think, is okay with it. There's some dissension from the police union, but it's an idea that should have happened long ago. We don't need to have 649 funds, all with different fund managers trying to get rates of return to help their retirees. It's not a secret that if you have a consolidation of your monies, you can get better returns on your investment. Most of the big state funds depend on a 7 to 7.5% return on investment. Now, the big funds can do that because they have a lot of clout in the market. I support this. I want to read the legislation, hear all the arguments, but I think it's essential that we do this. There's two things going on here. One is we have to protect the pensions of those folks that legitimately have earned them, the police and fire officials. Secondly, we don't need to bankrupt our communities to do that. And somehow we have to find that middle ground that says, okay, you're entitled to this as a pension benefit because they're opting out of the Social Security system. So this is their pension. But at the same time, we can't bankrupt the very communities that are trying to support this. So if we don't come to a compromise on this thing, then I don't know where we go. I intend to support it unless I see something terribly wrong with it. But I think it's an idea whose time has long passed. We need to get this done.
Well, as you know, as that idea continues to form, we'll be back in touch to see how you feel about that and what's going to happen next.
Good.
All right. As always, State Senator Dave Koehler, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right.